Greetings to all of humanity. It's really a joy, it's a pleasure, it's an honor to be out there in nature as usual and greeting you. Also, I want to greet the brothers and sisters at the Third Exodus Assembly and followers of William Branham all around the world. And the reason why I want to reach out to the brothers in the Third Exodus Assembly in Trinidad and Tobago and in St. Vincent and the Grenadines and followers of William Branham all around the world is because the last denomination I would have gotten myself associated with was the Third Exodus Assembly, and that was when I still had a religious mentality. But since I would have come to the place of self-realization and experience the virgin birth, which is the birth from the skull, I've been reaching out to my brothers and my sisters to wake up, because they are all my brothers and my sisters. That's the reason why I'm going to speak on the latest fulfillment of prophecy, where I would have done a video also called Modern Events Made Clear by Vindicated Prophecy, where I show you who would have heard me before 1 year ago spoke about the downfall of Vin Dayla ministry and that it is finished, and that when his ministry goes down, this ministry or this work of self-realization is going to rise up. And even now as I speak to you, this message that I bring to the world, it is rising more and more every day. And I'm expanding more and more every day. Okay? So what I really want to speak about, I want to speak on the issue of tithes and offering. And I want to present a question. I want to ask the question, is it Vin's money or God's money? Where the $28 million $1 bill is concerned, plus the other 2 point something million that they found in the church and so on. And is it conflict of interest? For 19 years you don't want to deal with the bank, but now that the money gonna change to the new polymer $100, you want to present the money knowing that your congregation gonna back you up and they're gonna defend you. And I'm saying all of this because the brothers and sisters up here, when people speak to them concerning the doing of Vin Dayla and the mishandling of the money, and when I say people, when people speak to them, not me. It's up to today someone was telling me that they would have spoken to a brother and the brother was saying, it's Vin's money. I remember one person I would have approached and I just asked them a question, the first thing with anger, they were speaking with anger too. Whose money is it? It's his money. But you see, this is where the hypocrisy comes in, and that is why sometimes you have to speak on things like these. And I'm not here to accuse or point finger. I'm here to put things in the rightful perspective. Now, every church or denomination that anyone would attend, that they take up tithes and offering, they have to use scriptures to show the people whereby they're supposed to pay tithes and offering. And I wrote a book on Malachi chapter 3 and explain what tithes is really all about, what tithing is really all about. And if you've been listening to me for any length of time, or if you knew, the basis of my teaching is that the Bible addresses the human mind and must be interpreted psychologically. That the Bible is not literal, neither is it secular history. So I just want to point out one thing that I would have said in my book. I said that when the Bible says that you're robbing God, it is you he's speaking about. You're robbing yourself. When you deny the power that is within you to create your reality consciously, you're robbing yourself. When you fail to realize that imagination is what creates reality and that God is your own human imagination, the creator in man, then you're robbing yourself. So even the 28 million, it was false imagined. Every dollar was first imagined. It was first a thought. It was an idea in someone's mind. So let me go on to what I'm trying to say. So they have to preach messages and convince the people that they're putting money towards doing God's work and that they're robbing God if they don't do it. That we can't see God. Based on the teaching of secular Christianity. But based on my teaching of self-realization, I see God in everyone. Because God is known by his characteristics. And the characteristic that God is known by is by creating. Because God is a creator, a healer, a provider. But everything that is used for healing, it was first a thought. It was first an idea. Everything that a religious person can hold to and say God provided for them, it had to first be a thought. It had to first be an idea. And if they try to say the sun and the moon, who create them, then they fail to understand Ecclesiastes chapter 3 and 11. Then they fail to realize the law of correspondence. As above, so below. As it is within, so is it without. Then they fail to realize that all things exist in the human imagination. And what they are beholding is an outer projection of that which is within. So everything you see on the outside, it is within. So yes, let me come back again. So the question is, whose money is it? Is it Vin's money or God's money? If the money belongs to Vin, then you have to say that Vin is God. God in flesh. And we are all God in flesh. I teach that. But you can be God asleep or God awake. I can declare my identity to be my divinity because I wake out of the dream of life. And that is why I know that no man ever walked the earth 2,000 years ago with special miracles. That's why I know the virgin birth is not a birth from down here, it's a birth from up here. And so long, maybe more than a year, more than a year and a half, I have a lecture that I did on Amazon Prime called The Secret Vagina. And I'm actually putting a book together to make it more, to expand it more. Because it was just a 1 hour lecture. So I am doing the book that whereby I'm opening far much more things in the Bible to show you the secret of the virgin birth. And show you that the virgin birth can take place with a man or a woman. It have nothing to do with down here, it's not a vaginal birth. That birth doesn't need any water back to burst or any blood. That birth is right there in St. John chapter 3. And I can go on and on and on and show you. So, when I speak, or when I teach as one having authority, not like the scribes and Pharisees. The scribes and Pharisees represent those of a religious mentality who's quoting the Bible as if the Bible is literal and as if the Bible is secular history. So, the question must be asked, whose money is it? Is it God's money or Vin's money? Because, as I said before, you're told that the tithes and the offering is God's money. You're told that according to Malachi 3, if you withhold your money, you're robbing God. You see, many preachers like to speak about God, but they don't tell you who is God. I am telling you who is God. I'm telling you God is your own human imagination, the creator in every man. And that is why I teach my people how to use their imagination to create their reality consciously. Because it is your own thoughts, my brother and my sisters, that is creating your reality. And when you learn that, you come to realize that you can create your reality consciously. Because it is your thoughts that is creating your personality. I don't have to go to church and sing song and call on any idol or any man who exists 2,000 years ago, which no man has ever existed 2,000 years ago, with special powers, as I would have said before. Jesus is an idol added to an experience, which is the greatest experience that you will come to, which is discovering your Christ self. Your higher self. The highest level of consciousness that anyone can come to is referred to as Christ, the anointed, because you have an oil at the base of your spine, at the base of your spine. I call it the invisible fluid. Because when you have the experience, you're going to become invisible. Then you will be sent to preach the message of the invisible. That is why I was able to meet William Branham in Woodland. Shook his hand in Woodland. And many people, they don't return from Woodland if they enter into Woodland. Some people wouldn't even understand what I'm talking about when I speak about Woodland. And for me to meet him, I met him face to face, and for me to do that, I had to go ahead of William Branham. So my brother, my sister, the question is, whose money is it? Is it Vin money? Or is it God money? Now, if Vin did understand that the Bible addresses the human mind and must be interpreted psychologically, and that it is his thought that is creating his reality, and that he can create his reality consciously. If he did understand how energy, vibration, and frequency works, if he did understand how to manipulate the element of earth, wind, water, fire, and knowing that he's a spirit having a human experience, and not a human trying to be spiritual, he would have known that instead of he have to be paying lawyers to defend he for $28+ million, that he could create billions. And that all the members in the church could be in a better place. Instead of just being an employee, of which many of them, they are just employee. And many of them still living in poverty, which is a state of mind. And then they're preaching about rapture. Yet you're saving money for the rapture. So, my brother, my sisters, we have to be right in our mind. And we have to call a spade a spade. You can't go wrong all around the world preaching against organized religion, preaching against denomination. And you are a denomination. You all have merged the messenger with the message and create an idol. Therefore, you can mark my word. I said it before and I said it again. I said that Vin Dayla ministry is finished. I'm saying to you who are listening to me, you're going to see this ministry of self-realization, whereby I'm pointing everyone to look within themselves, to discover their true identity, to be their divinity. You're going to see it grow from strength to strength to strength to strength to strength. While you're going to see the message of William Branham keep declining. Why? Because this is a time of great awakening. And they're walking right now through artificial intelligence, which is AI. Elon Musk is behind the whole thing to give the people a holographic. Come in, have a false Jesus. Because they've been telling the people for so long that they must look to the Middle East. And what is happening in Jerusalem and what was happening in Israel and all of that. Because most people do not understand that Israel means to rule as God. And all these people have been talking about prophecy and people do not realize that you can create your reality consciously and see the fulfillment of a prophecy, your own prophecy. Because people don't understand that imagination is a preview of your coming attraction. So what they're going to do? They want to perform a false rapture, a false coming. And many people are going to bow. Because remember, the robots are coming. The machines are coming. And if you can't, and I remember the pastor for the Tolex Assembly in Simon Grand, he used to all the time say, if you can't speak food on the table when the squeeze come. I wonder, remember Vin say, they've been waiting for this thing for all the time. And the people believe. And then he turn around and say, if they lock me up, you give it to me. Yet some people are going to say it's God bless him with the money. But he didn't say that. He didn't say God give it to me. He said, you give it to me. Now, I would like to know how the lawyers going to argue his case. And then, those in the message going to say, well, Brother Branham had a court case too. Well then, they're supposed to die in a car accident too. Then he's supposed to have a halo over here too. If you're going to use that to compare him with William Branham, you have to compare him with everything else. William Branham is to go to the mountain hunt. Then they should go hunt too. So my brother, my sisters, it's time to wake up. It's time to be honest with yourself and come to realize that your greatest enemy is yourself and your greatest friend is yourself. And if there's no enemy within, the enemy without can do you no harm. Stop trying to blame a devil instead of blaming yourself. Because there's no devil that is putting a thought in your mind. It is you who putting the same thought in your mind. The devil don't sit down and gossip. It is you who does open your mouth and gossip. So we have to wake up and be true to ourselves. And stop trying to use religion to hide behind religion. Because religion and politics is what they're using to keep you in a state of mental slavery. Religion and politics is what is used to keep people from knowing their true self, from knowing who you are, from knowing that you are the Lord and Master of your own destiny, and that you can create your reality consciously. So, as I come here to an end, let me say this. My message is pointing you to look inwardly to discover your divinity. And when you discover your divinity, you would know that you and God are one. That's why I'm going to end here by saying, I and God are one. So, anyhow you put it, the money belongs to Vin Dayla, because Vin Dayla and God are one, even though if he doesn't even know it or even teach it. So with that being said, I want to thank you very much for listening to me. And I want to say, if you listen to me and what I'm saying, if it's making sense to you and it's resonating with you, then it is for you, because it is said it's only when the student is ready that the teacher would appear. If you listen to me and you haven't subscribed already, I'm encouraging you to subscribe, to like, to comment, and to share this message. Everything this message needs to be shared. And also, I just want to remind you that this message I bring to you is the single eye message of self-realization, of which Matthew 6:22 says, if I be single, your whole body will be full of light. And I'm saying to you, hadn't it been that I would have had that experience where I awake within myself like a fiery being and ascending up on high, having heard the unearthly wind, and exit the tomb, roll away the stone, and became invisible, I would have been here teaching you the message of the invisible and telling you that the virgin birth story of Mary is the greatest lie that has been ever fed to all of humanity, and that the virgin birth is from above, not from below, and it could take place with a man or a woman. So with all of that being said, I will encourage you, if you haven't gotten a hold of my book called How to Open the Floodgates of Abundance, you need to get that book. If you haven't gotten my book, The Black Mystic from Ethiopia, you need to get that book. And my many other books. Plus, there are much more to come. So, with all of that being said, I just want to give you this symbol, as usual, of the single eye, letting you know that the sun parallels the human imagination, the human imagination parallels the sun. For without the sun, there is no life and there is no light. Therefore, the sun is the giver of life. And without the human imagination, there isn't anything made that was made. And the Bible clearly states in Psalms 84:11 that the Lord thy God is a sun and a shield, and no good thing will he withhold from you. And in Malachi 4:2, it also states that the sun, as in the S-U-N, of righteousness shall arise in you with healing in his wings. And I'm saying to you, when that happened to you, you will realize that it is the dawning of a new day in your life. Just like I would have come to realize that. And I would have come to realize that without him, there isn't anything made that was made. That's St. John 1:3, and that means without imagination, there isn't anything made that was made. And everything that was made was first imagined. Therefore, you will have an awakened imagination, and you will come to realize that you can create whatever you so desire. And so, my brother and my sisters, my encouragement to you is to use your mind power, which is your solar power, your sun power, your creative power, your God power, to achieve your every desire and create more money than Vin Dayla would have sold himself short of, and having lawyers eating your money when it's supposed to be tithes that was given to uplift God ministry. So that being said, I want to say peace, love you all, I'm out.